Hi, Jason Perico for Bianchi Honda, suggesting you start your new year with a new Honda. Start by leasing the 2016 CR-V LX all-wheel drive for $299 a month with zero down. That's right, the no money down lease is back. Only $299 a month for the 2016 CR-V LX all-wheel drive. With over 500 Hondas in stock, I promise to find the right Honda for you.
Dan Telesky, Jim Brunelli, we're just talking 6 games left in the Gannon season. It's unbelievable. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Hey, it's good to be here. Yeah, I know. Regular season, 6 games left. That's crazy.
1 game out of first.
Yep.
You know,
we
it's
let
a nice
one slip.
year to win the West because the West hosts.
West Coast, yep. That's one of the goals. It's still in reach. We have all our cards in play.
Definitely.
And we just got to take it 1 game at a time and bounce back Wednesday night. Starts Wednesday night.
Do you, if you don't win the West, which I'm sure I'm overthinking this, do you want to finish second other than, all right, we're second, but to get that game off? Do you want that game off?
It would be nice. I think that's a nice thing to give a little bit of extra rest. My first year here, we had a bye week. The last game of the regular season was a bye week, and then we had a bye for the PSAC first round, and it ended up being 9 days off. And I thought that was way too long.
Did it look like you were 9 days off?
It felt like it. It just took forever. You know what I mean?
But I'm saying, how'd the team play?
Oh, we played well. We came out, beat Cal. It was one of those things. Different team, different year. I can't say whether it'll be good. I think rest is always good. It's a non-negotiable this time of year. You got to take your mandatory time. You got to kind of cut practices a little bit. We haven't gone, other than lifting on certain days, we really don't go over 2 hours much at all. Other than maybe 15 minutes with a scout here and there. But for the most part, we've been keeping it right at 2, except for the days that we lift, but on the court stuff. So it's definitely a non-negotiable, and because the bodies are getting tired, the bumps and the bruises get a little bit, sore, but we got to play the cards that we're dealt, and we're sitting in second right now, 1 game out of first, and we got to make better decisions. Come Wednesday night when Clarion comes into town. They're a much better team than when we saw them back in, what was it, November?
Yeah.
It was early, yeah.
Your second game of the year, I think.
It was our third. First. It was our first conference game,
right.
But I think it was our 3rd game of the year for us. So, it was a long time ago.
Down there, I knew that.
Yeah.
They're doing a conference game. Huge game Saturday at IUP, a great venue, ambiance and everything. Now, I watched the whole game. I thought you're the better team. I'd rather have this Gannon team. I didn't think they were that athletic.
Yeah.
They didn't have a lot of scoring threats. How or why did they beat you, now that you had time to at least think about it on the way home?
We held a team, probably defensively. It was one of our better games all year, quarter to quarter, half to half for 40 minutes. The big difference was we turned the ball over 22 times. You can't turn the ball over 22 times in any type of game, let alone a close game with a good team at their place. We held some of they had four of their ladies averaging double figures coming in. We let 2 of them get their average, a little bit more. Other than that, I thought we played a really good game other than the turnovers. We had too many turnovers, especially down the stretch. And at key times, we had illegal screens. We had 3-second calls. We threw the ball out of bounds one time after it ricocheted. You just can't turn the ball over. And, we had some upperclassmen, I think 3 upperclassmen that combined for 14 of those 22 turnovers. And that's always not good, and it's not like they were pressing us. It's not like they were trapping every pass.
They were capable of really pressuring you.
They stuck tight on, and that was to be expected. They stuck tight on Morgan Neighbors. They didn't let her go anywhere without having someone close to her. And the reason for that is she lit them up for 31, in December 1st. So yeah, but the turnovers, and it sounds like a broken record because I know I was in here a couple weeks ago talking about turnovers when we went down to Cal and let that game. We had another game where we had 20-some turnovers, 21, 22 turnovers. You really don't win close ball games when you're turning the ball over. And we held them. They're right up there with us as far as shooting percentage. They get about 42, 43% from the field. We held them to. We shot better than them. I think we shot 36%. They shot 33%. So we held them in every category. They hit some threes. I think they had 5 total threes or 6 total threes, and we were 1 of 12.
I thought they struggled against, is it the 1-2-2? I mean,
yeah, they did.
They didn't have an answer for that.
Yeah.
Not only did they struggle getting it over, they didn't get comfortable and really run a good offense. I just thought you guys controlled everything. Now, it may have been the third quarter, there were 19 turnovers in the game.
Yeah.
Which you can say great defense and everything, too. But I thought they really struggled against your press.
Yeah, they did. And then when we made some subs, it just wasn't as effective. And then there were a couple times there that once they did figure it out, they got some good looks at the basket. At least in the second half,
they went
got
to
some.
Brooks.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, she's elevated her game every year I've been here.
That's what I said on coming out of Villa.
Yeah.
I said coming from Villa to IUP, she's a little better. Sophomore, she's a little better. Junior, she's a little better. All those little betters have added up.
Oh, they do. All those little things, and that was one of the big things, going in our scouting report. She must have worked on her, that 12 to 15-foot range shot because she's hitting it. I mean, it's almost automatic from certain spots on the floor, and she's done a really nice job. I was really impressed. I've been really impressed with her. I didn't know her prior to Villa.
Right.
She was a freshman sophomore when I got here. So I just know each year she got better in a certain element of her game. And that's what you want for every player. All the kids we recruit, our goal is to get better in the off seasons, and she did just that. And she hit some shots, and then down the stretch, even with free throws, even the ones that we had to foul, and they missed one, and it was still within 3-point range, and then you miss a shot or you turn it over, you do something like that. And it just didn't work.
It looks to me hurting you, at least in that game, and Sean said maybe some other games. Shives, I love watching her play. She's such a threat. And with them taking neighbors out of the game, I don't know if her legs are tired. I watched her because I'm such an expert, but I really made a point of watching her. And it seems to me when a player gets a little tired, the shot flattens out.
Yeah.
And as soon as it leaves her hand, if it's elevated, it's got a good chance of going in. But boy, if it's flattened out, because she is such a threat.
She's a huge threat to be able to shoot the way she did. And I didn't feel that way. My staff and I were talking about it after the game, and that was one of the things that we didn't look fresh, and I'm not sure why. It was a 5:30 game. We had our workout in the morning. We didn't go long. It was the shortest walkthrough we had. It was a 45-minute walkthrough. Got some shots up, reviewed their stuff. Not sure why they were tired or felt tired, but that was evident for sure. Her shot was down a little bit, and she was off. And the worst thing as a shooter is to not feel right about your shot.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because then you start trying to make adjustments, and even though good shooters during the course of a game will make adjustments with their shot, whether it's a little bit more legs, depending on what they need. She was just off, but we still had some good scoring with Jennifer Teese because of her game Wednesday night, and Jenny Teese putting up some good numbers on Saturday. She's the PSAC West Player of the Week. Did a great job. Yeah, it was her third time this year. And, Morgan still got some good looks at the basket. And the one thing I really enjoyed, though, we had some good freshmen. I thought Nicole LaCava came in, did a nice job, because this is the first time, I'd have to double check, but I told my team afterwards, I don't ever remember 2 kids ever fouling out in a game since I've been here. And we had 2 kids foul out. Now, one was a little bit early, one was real late, probably with under a minute left. Morgan ended up fouling out. But it was just a rest. But even despite those kids getting in foul trouble, because McKenna Shives and Bree sat out part of the second quarter because they picked up 2 quick fouls there. But I think we still have enough talent to get things done. I was impressed with Nicole. Nicole came in, gave us some good minutes. LaShawna Gatewood came in, gave us some good minutes. And Lauren Lauren Tavis came in, got some good looks, got some good rebounds, a couple rebounds there, and and Alyssa Ellerbrock is always someone who can come in and make things happen. So we let one slip on Saturday, and despite I keep thinking 22 turnovers, we still had a chance to win. We really shouldn't have. It shouldn't have been that close with that many turnovers. But we did shoot decently. We hit our free throws that kept us in the game. If we had hit 1 or 2 threes, maybe something would have happened. But we only hit one, and it came right at the end of the game, like the last 40 seconds of the game, which is. I don't know if that's happened for a long time with us. We've always been able to get a good look at the basket. And there were some. Like I said, McKenna had some good looks at the basket with nobody in her face, but shot was a little flat, didn't go in.
All right, now moving on to Clarion. I think this is the first time in my life I remember Gannon playing a team earlier in the year and not remembering that much about it.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it, 3 months ago or something?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, now.
The thing I noticed in the PSAC West, up until this year, you knew who was going to beat whom. You knew it was going to be a 25 or 30 point game. And I looked at the scores, and I've looked at them all year, and every game is competitive.
Oh, yeah.
Not to mention, I guess we could still call them upsets. Yeah. But it's just game after game. You had your way with the Clarion women's team down there, I thought. And you guys looked really good. I didn't think they looked that good. I've been watching their scores, of course. They're in every game now.
Yeah, no. And the one thing people don't remember about that game, because it was so long ago, one of their better players, the Holmes kid, didn't play. She hurt her finger during pregame and didn't play at all. And then there was some type of suspension that we heard after the fact.
Okay.
And one of their kids, the polite kid, number 24, only played 16 minutes. I don't think she played any in the first or second quarter. I'm not quite sure. But she only played 16 minutes. And then they have a transfer coming in. They have a mid-year transfer who's playing well. But no, they're in games. They're starting to gel a little bit more. And they have 3 or 4 players there that can put up some good numbers if you let them get good looks at the basket. So it's going to be another battle. We got to go out and play well. That was the closest I think we've played a Clarion team down at their place this past year, and that was early on in the season. Both teams are better now, so hopefully we can limit turnovers, play some good defense, box out, rebound, all that good stuff.
Have you broken down film?
Oh, yeah.
Film already?
Yeah.
Are they doing anything different from then to now, or it's just more of a difference in personnel?
It's personnel-wise. They're running, they're getting better at the sets they were running earlier. They have 1 or 2 new ones. And then what they've done to make their offense run a little bit better, I feel, is they've put some different people in some key spots. They've moved some of their players around. Instead of them setting screens, they are being the one being screened for. They have some really athletic kids. The home kid's very athletic. The polite kid, lefty, really good shooter. Their point guard was just named, I think, Rookie of the Week again this week. She had a good week. So they're all getting better, and it's going to be a good game.
What has your focus been? You played Saturday. Would have been. Were you allowed to practice yesterday?
No, that's our day off. Sundays are our day off.
So what will your focus be Monday and Tuesday for Clarion?
Just reviewing.
More yourself or more Clarion?
A little bit of both. We have to go over their stuff because again, that game was so long ago. It's important to review some of their sets just so we get used to it again. But it's just trying to stay to typically what we do. How we handle their ball screens, how we handle. Transition, different things like that. So we reviewed it today. We watched film on them today, went over their sets, and then it's just about working on the defensive end for us and making sure that we're playing as a team and because if one person's out of spot, it can mess things up. So or someone goes on on a little zigzag here and we got to get them back in. So. But tomorrow's going to be a little bit better practice in the sense that we have a little bit more time on our hands with film and, going over the scouting report. That's a good chunk of our practice time. Then we just get some shots, get up and down the floor and walk through stuff. So tomorrow will be a little bit better, just focusing on what they do and then basically what we need to do.
Will you look at Shives and see if maybe you think she is tired, or will you look at Neighbors, who, well, actually probably was defensed pretty good?
Yeah.
You look at foul trouble. I mean, I'm not going to complain about the officials because
Yeah, it doesn't do any good.
no, but I just thought they were inconsistent.
Yeah.
One thing getting in foul
It's tough.
trouble.
They got a tough job to
Yeah,
do.
it was a hard game.
It was a tough job. They have a tough job. We all have tough jobs. I think every coach in the country right now is wanting to be a little bit more consistent, because from game to game, sometimes quarter to quarter, calls are being made at a different pace and or a different way. And so, like we always say, we got to control what we can control. And some of the things that we got called for, we have to stop doing. Illegal screens, you can't lean in.
Case is the queen of fouls away from the ball or something. When you got somebody always on in the action, she can't afford one of those again.
No. And that's just about, learning and running by them and not getting near them, but still contesting the shot. It's a learning process there, But you're right. We had some issues with that as well. We fouled some kids after the fact. We shouldn't have been anywhere near them.
Pitt Johnstown, you beat them in Erie.
No, yeah, right before Christmas.
Yeah.
Right before Christmas. That was our last game before Christmas.
So I know you haven't even thought of them.
Right.
But again, it's part of our show here.
Yeah.
What do you remember from them from the first game?
Well, one of their better players, the Hammond kid, got hurt at our game. I think she's been out since then. I think she broke a wrist or some part of that. They had a good win a few weeks ago. They beat IUP at their place in overtime.
Yeah, high scoring game. Right?
And they're playing. Yeah, they have some kids. Their scores are really high up. They're putting up some good numbers, which is always concerning. So it's one of those things where it's going to be down at their place. The last couple of years, the games have been nip and tuck down there, and so we got to go down. And again, it's about what we do. It's about playing good defense, playing consistent defense, making smart decisions with the ball, taking care of it, value in every possession. Those are going to be, in these next 6 games, things that we really, really need to be focused on. And
I'm sorry, it's kind of a hard place to play with that funky floor. It's just different.
Yeah, it's not a wooden floor. It's the only kind of floor that they play on.
30 years ago, it was state of the art.
Right.
And then they found out that everybody has knee operations.
Right.
On it.
Yeah, so the good thing is we only have one game there, and just going in and like I said, the kids will get a shoot around in that day. So some of our veterans, they know the type of floor, and really for us that isn't an issue. It's interesting to see freshmen walk in and say, oh, okay. Even though they've seen it on film, there's nothing like walking on it and getting a feel for it. But usually that doesn't affect us. It's a little different feel, but after the shoot around, everybody's used to it.
Now, what's the itinerary for an away game? Because you've been going down as a team, coming back, the men going down, then coming back themselves. But I think you're going the night before because they're day games. Right?
Yeah, it's a 1:00 game down there.
Oh,
so
1:00. Okay.
yeah, so we've made those trips before. Our last trip with the men that's very similar was to Kutztown. So we go over the night before, get a good night's rest, get up, get a shoot around in, play the game, and then head back home. So it's really not too different. It's we have a couple overnight trips scheduled throughout the year, so the kids know the routine. They know what we do. It's just a matter of going in and taking care of business.
Will you work out in Erie Friday and then get on the bus?
Yeah, definitely. We'll have our practice time. The men will get a practice time. We'll leave in the evening and then drive down, make the trip down. Hopefully the weather stays as nice as it has been. Because I remember some trips going down there where snow's flying and ice and everything else. But it'll be a good thing. We'll get a good workout in here. It's always tough this late in the year and spring sports coming in. It's always tough to get not shoot around time, but practice times. I would love to go down the night before and practice there, but with baseball and other sports, all the gyms are taken up, especially.
They have trouble getting their own teams in, let alone another team coming in.
So what we do is, both teams will practice here, and then we'll go down, get a good night's sleep. Both of us will get up, get a shoot around in, get a good meal in, and then go play the game.
All right, Coach Brunelli, Wednesday night at home against Clarion.
Yes, we'll see you there.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.